everyone! If you are new here, my name is Crystal, also known as the Book Gypsy, and today I'm going to be doing the BookTube Real Talk tag. I've been seeing this tag float around YouTube for like the past month and a half, and I kept saying that I was going to do it and I just never did, so now's a good time. I'm going to do this tag and let's see if I have any original things because everyone said everything already, but let's just jump into the tag and see. The first question is, what's something nobody told you about BookTube before you started your channel? No one told me. I mean, a lot of people that I know personally in my real life knew nothing about BookTube, so that's one thing. So no one really told me anything. I was just always like the outsider looking in on BookTube before I started my channel, and I really like wanted to be a part of the community. But now that I am in the community, it's kind of hard to figure out where I belong in the community. It's hard because I'm older. I am 31, so I feel like the age difference, I don't really know how much of an age difference I have with people, but I just feel like I don't really know where I belong in the community. So I thought it would just be like, you know, we just all like be a community together, and I love this community and it's great, but I feel like there are those cliques that happen, and people are kind of like your friend one minute and then they're not your friend another. So it's kind of like that cattiness, like that high school cattiness that is just like, all right. So no one really told me about that, but really I don't really care so much about that. And also no one really told me how much time this would take. I'm trying to cram in a lot of videos today, so that's why my hair is the same in a lot of my videos. No one really said how much this would take and the editing process and trying to like make everything perfect. And I'm not saying everything has to be perfect, because it doesn't have to be perfect. People will watch your videos regardless, whether they like you or they like your content or whatever. They will still watch your videos even if your lighting isn't perfect or if your sound is kind of off, but it does make a difference. So a lot of times I didn't realize how much work it was to put like a good video out. I guess that's the answer to that first question. That was a long answer. The next question is, what is your opinion on typical BookTube videos? Wrap-ups, TBRs, hauls, etc. I love them. That is why I came to BookTube. That is why I watch BookTube. I love those videos. I love making those videos. I love watching everyone's videos. Those are like the total totem pole, the top of the totem pole of BookTube, basically. Like if you don't have those videos on your channel, guaranteed you're not going to have that many views. And I feel that wrap-ups, TBRs, book hauls are very important to me as a person, because I want to know the new books that are coming out, or if someone got a book that I didn't hear about, or someone read a book and didn't like it that I was going to read. Like, it's nice to get everyone's feedback on things, especially if you read similar books to somebody and they end up not liking something. You're kind of like, oh, so maybe I'll avoid that book and I won't spend the money on it and buy it. Or someone really liked a book that you didn't think you'd like and you go pick it up at the store. It definitely helps the authors out a lot. More so than the reviews of books. A lot of people don't watch reviews. I don't watch reviews because I don't want to be spoiled for things. And I don't really like watching reviews. If I want to see a review, I go on Goodreads and I look at the star rating. I look at people's reviews, non-spoiler reviews. And that's how I get my reviews. I don't really watch the reviews on people's channels. So yeah, that's kind of like, they're like the total building blocks of BookTube. Like, you can't not have those videos, and I think they're very, very important to this community. So that's just my opinion. I love them. I only really watch them. Third question is, what is an assumption you had about BookTube before you joined? Was it proven to be correct or not? An assumption I had before joining BookTube, I think an assumption that I had was that I'd be able to handle it and keep up with it a lot more than what I could. I was like, yeah, I could do this. This is great. This is so awesome. I'm creating a channel. But I really have a hard time keeping up with everyone and reading all these books, because now, like, there's pressure to read all the books now. Like, before I had a channel, if I didn't read for a month, There was no one like, oh, you didn't read this month, or blah blah blah, or you didn't read more than 3 books this month. Like, there was nobody, like, kind of, the pressure wasn't there. But now there's pressure there to read, and it makes me like not want to read. But I think my major assumption was that I could keep up with it a lot more than I do. And I love my BookTube channel. I love being on YouTube, and it's fun, and I met so many amazing people through this community, but I just find it harder to keep up with than I thought. Question number 4, what is something you've done that has actually helped you grow your audience? I don't really know. I think my Kindle video, when I got my Kindle, helped. Like, I felt like I got a lot more subscribers when I did that. Also, when I did the readathon with Carol Marie Reads, it was kind of a different readathon than most people have done in the past. So we both got a decent amount of subscribers and followers from that. So, I mean, I just think being me, like, it will help grow my audience. And if people don't want to watch my channel, then they don't have to watch my channel. But I think just by me being myself helps grow my channel. I don't think it really has to do with content. I think people just want to come for you, and if they like you, then they're going to stay. Number 5, what is a common mistake you see new booktubers making, or one that you made? I don't really see many new booktubers making mistakes, because I think a lot of new booktubers kind of are doing their thing by learning from other people's mistakes. Also, they're doing a lot more research, because like they're fairly new to the game when there's people that have been around for a long time. I'm fairly new. I haven't really been on for a year yet, but I definitely think my first couple videos needed a little bit more thought process, and I think a little bit more research before I filmed them. So yeah, that's definitely a mistake that I've made. I totally think that sometimes just turning on the camera and talking is great, but sometimes you need to make yourself some notes or something, because then you just kind of trail off and forget what you're talking about. So I think that is helpful, and I would kind of go back and change a couple of my first videos. But who wouldn't? Who wouldn't change a couple of their first videos? I also feel that a lot of new booktubers, including myself, felt like we had to buy all the books at the bookstore and had to have this amazing collection of books just because we're on BookTube, and that's not the case. When I got my Kindle, that really helped me harness in my book buying, and I could buy books on there and they stay on there and they're not collecting dust. So if you know it's a book that you know you're not going to revisit, don't purchase the book just to be like, I have the book here, like, here's the book. You don't have to do that. I actually really enjoy watching people's videos when they put the picture, like they insert the picture into the video instead of holding the book. I actually really enjoy those, and I feel like the videos look so much more put together when you just insert the photo instead of holding up the book. That's just my opinion. And also, my boyfriend's watched many videos, and he watches my videos, and he even says like he loves when I insert the book into the screen instead of having, you know, the physical book in my hands. He thinks it looks more professional because he's a professional. Number 6, what are your thoughts on working with publishers and sponsorships? I think it's a great thing, and anyone who gets upset about it is just jealous of the people that are getting the sponsorships and working with publishers, because it's hard work working with publishers, and it's hard work being sponsored by a company, because you have to make sure you put those videos out, and you have to make sure you read those books and at least review them and read something from them. You have to. And I think it's very important that people understand that it's not a negative thing, and people that are upset are just jealous. And I think that working with sponsorships and working with publishers, isn't that what we're all here for? Isn't that what we're all here for? We want to work with the reason why we love reading. We want to work with them. And like, some of us don't have degrees to go be an editor somewhere or work in marketing or be in a publishing house, because it's our hobby. So what better than getting paid to do your hobby? I think it's like the best thing ever. I would love to get paid to do my hobby. That's like my dream job, to get paid to read books without having to go to school and get a degree for it. Like, So that's just my opinion on it. Anyone who has negative things to say, I think you're just a negative Nancy and you got issues. That's it. Number 7 is, do you think BookTube is dying? No. I think it's definitely changing. It's not so structured like how it used to be. People are putting out more creative content and stuff like that. And if you choose to do more creative content on your channel, or you still continue to do the structured way of BookTube, that's fine. I think having all this diversity is excellent. I think having people that are older than me, my age, younger than me, even younger than 18, having BookTube channels and showing the world that we're reading. Yesterday I was actually in Barnes & Noble and I had like a nice stack of books in my hand, like a stack like this high. I had like probably like 7 books, and I had a gift card and I had like a coupon, so I wasn't gonna spend full price on them. But anyway, so I'm looking at in fiction, and this older lady comes over to me, and she was so cute, and she goes, "You're gonna be really busy later with all those books." And I was like, yeah. I was like, well, I actually have a YouTube channel where I review and read books, and I collect a lot of books. It's part of my hobby, my job. I always love reading. Even since I was a kid, I always loved reading. And she was like, it's just so nice to see young people reading. She's like, you never hear that anymore, and more people need to be like you. More young people need to be picking up books. And you know what? She's right. We are so distracted by our phones and by the television and by random shit. This music, no offense to anyone who likes the music that's coming out these days, but it's awful. And I grew up like during a time where like there was Backstreet Boys, there were bands coming out every week, there was just so much music, and now it's just, I don't know what this rap weird stuff is happening, but it's just weird. Anyway, that's just my opinion. But everyone's just getting so distracted by all this stuff, and no one is actually taking the time to read a book. And reading really expands your mind, and it actually helps you to become a better conversationalist in your everyday life. If you're not reading, you don't know how to use words. I mean, that's how we learned our language growing up. That's when we learned how to read. That's how we learned how to speak. So it's just kind of, you know, one of those things that where this community is not dying. If anything, we are growing, and we are showing that young people are reading books. Young people are expanding their minds. And if we can expand more into those people that are like, I don't want to read, or I hate reading, like if they find that one book that triggers them and says, and they read it and they're like, oh my god, like I love this book, they will continue to read more. And I think reading is just so important, because a lot of people's minds are just becoming mush from television and movies and all that stuff, and I watch them too, and I partake in that too. But reading is just such a core thing to have in your life, and I truly think that BookTube is not dying. We are expanding, and we are showing how many people, like I can't believe how many people are in this community. As the years go on, it just gets bigger and bigger, and how many people are reading, and it means so much to me that there are more people like me out there. And if we could reach other people, that's amazing. So I hope that made sense, because I feel like I'm not making any sense, but whatever. And then number 8 is tag your friends, which if you haven't done this already, if you're one of the few like me that haven't done it already, please do the tag. I want to hear what you have to say, and let me know down below if you do the video, if you do the tag. I would love to see it. But yeah, so that is it. That is all I have for this tag today. I don't normally do tags, but I had the time, and I was like, hey, why not? I haven't done one in like ages anyway. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be talking to you guys soon. Bye.